We're on the guided practice from lesson 9.3. This is page 252. Number 1. In a video game, a guppy that escapes a net turns into 3 goldfish. Each goldfish can turn into 2 betta fish. Each betta fish can turn into 2 angelfish. Complete the diagram and write the number of fish at each stage. Write and evaluate an expression for the number of angelfish that can be formed from one guppy. So the one guppy can turn into 3 goldfish, and that's already done for us. You can actually see right here if I go over in blue. Here's one guppy, and it can turn into 1, 2, 3 goldfish. Well, the 3 goldfish can each turn into 2 betta fish. So that looks like this: 1, 2. It also looks like this: 1, 2. It also looks like this: 1, 2. So this is the 3 betta fish, and it's getting multiplied by 2. I'm sorry, this is the 3 goldfish, and it gets multiplied by the 2 betta fish. And then each of those 2 betta fish gets turned into 2 angelfish. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and 1 and 2. So this 3 gets carried all the way down, and then 2 gets squared. And the reason why 2 gets squared is because, let me show you on a highlighter. This guy right here was 2, and then each of those 2 got turned into 2. So that's just 2 to the second power. So how many is that? Well, let's just count. In fact, I think I'm going to undo those oranges, and I'm going to put an orange dot at the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And that should make sense because this right here, 2 to the second power, that's 4, and 4 times 3 is 12, and it's 12 angelfish. This right here would look like this: 3 times 2 squared is 12 angelfish. Now, I don't know if that helped you or if that confused you. And if it confused you, I'm sorry, but the book tried to provide you a model of a word problem that you could use exponents to solve. All right, let's move on. Numbers 2 through 5, the directions read complete to simplify each expression. So again, these helpful diagrams that they're giving you might actually mess you up, but that's okay. We're going to do our best. Off to the side here, I'm going to write PEMDAS, and I'm going to refer to it often. All right, so check this out. Number 2 reads, and in fact, we almost want to cover it up just for a minute. We'll move all that in a minute. Number 2 reads 89 minus 4 squared times 4 plus 12. Well, what we're not doing first is subtract and add. What we are going to do first is exponents and multiply. What goes first though? Exponents is first. So what they do here is they give you this space right here for that exponent. And so this space ends up being this number 4 squared. 4 squared is not 4 times 2, it's 4 times 4, it's 16. And then all the rest of the problem now looks identical. So what goes next? What goes next is 16 times 4. Why does that go next? We've got subtraction, we've got multiply, we've got add, and multiply comes before add and subtract. So we're going to multiply 16 times 4. And if you use a multiplication chart, you know that 16 times 4 is 64. And now we've got add and subtract, and it kind of looks like add goes first, but add and subtract go together left to right. So I'm actually going to do 89 minus 64 first. And 9 minus 4 is 5, and 8 minus 6 is 2, so it's 25. And then my last one, I just need to add 12. 25 and 12 is 37. Now, if you don't like all this, and you want to do this on your paper, and if you come up with 37, that's fine. It's not that big a deal. I'm filling in the blanks. I don't think it's too hard. I'm just trying to point out to you what they're trying to do to help. All right, so we'll go on. Yeah, that was number 2. We're on number 3 now. So I'm going to cover it up just for a minute. Notice on number 3 we've got parentheses, so that's going to go first. So believe it or not, what they want you to do is just focus on what's inside the parentheses. Don't worry about the squared. That's exponents, and that's the second step. We got to do parentheses first. 36 divided by 12 is 3, so I'm going to put a 3 right here. And so we've done our parentheses. Now we go to exponents. 3 squared means 3 times 3, which is 9. So they want you to put the 9 here. And now all we have is 2 operations. We've got multiply and add. Multiply comes first. 6 times 9 is 54. and add 8. 54 plus 8 is 62. All right, moving on. Number 4 looks confusing, but it's not bad. I'll help you. All right, so what do we got going on number 4? We have multiplication. We have parentheses. Inside the parentheses, we have add. We have parentheses. We have an exponent. We have divide, and we have subtract. Here's what we're not going to do for a very long time. We're not going to do this. We're not going to do this. We're going to do those just at the very end. Now, inside these parentheses, we have more parentheses. So believe it or not, we do that first. So the first thing we do is actually these parentheses. 4 plus 2 is 6. So I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to do 6. And then once you do that, then you're going to do the exponent next. And 6 squared is 36, so that goes here. And we're still in parentheses, and this is the one that kids forget all the time. What is 36 over 4? It means divide. And so now we're going to divide, because it's still in parentheses. We're going to do 36 divided by 4 is 9. Now, I skipped these earlier. Now I can go back and do them. I've got 12 times 9, and I've got minus 7. It's going to be 12 times 9. Multiply comes before subtract. So I'm going to do 12 times 9. That's 108. 108 minus 7 is 101. Last one. We've got 320. Let me use my whiteboard. I think it might be helpful. Cover it up. We've got 320 divided by, we've got parentheses, and then again we've got another set of parentheses. We've got 11 minus 9. That's going to go first, because that's inside parentheses. And then we've got square to the third power. 2 to the third power doesn't mean 2 times 3. It means 2 times 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4. Times 2 again is 8. It's going to be 8. Now we've got 8 over 2. That means 8 divided by 2. That's 4. Now we've got 320 divided by 4. Division comes before. Actually, let me talk about that. Division doesn't come before multiplication. They go together. It looks like multiplication comes first, but they go together, and it says that on page 249. Multiply and divide, add and subtract all go together. Multiply and divide go in order from left to right. So I'm going to divide first. I'm going to get 320 divided by 4. I get 80. And 80 times 8, that's like 8 times 8. 8 times 8, 64. And I left that 0 off, so I annex it now. It's 640. If the instruction there went too fast, or if you need more help, please ask for help. I know those questions get kind of tricky. It helps to go nice and slow, nice and methodically. Number 6 says, how do you use the order of operations to simplify expressions with exponents? I would probably just write the order of operations. It goes parentheses, exponents, multiplication, multiply and divide, and we need to write that if we have both multiplication and division, we go left to right. And lastly, we add and subtract. And we add and subtract from left to right. All right, good job. You're done with page 252.